Alright, now we're gonna cross-examine Gina Lestrade. You snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses. Dang it! No! Press. Press. So we can hear more of my horrendous accent. So you were already in the omnibus before it even set off on its run? Oh yeah! I mean, what's the point of spending a joy to make a few bob, eh? That's a dumb idea, isn't it? Especially means there's no point spending money to make money. It actually makes sense. Counsel, may I remind you that this girl is a petty thief. Kindly refrain from entertaining her tenants. Well, that does clear up the little mystery of the fares and all. 4 paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making it 20 to which the cabman testified. And 1 little scapegrace riding for free. A conk of a driver always goes for some grub before his last run, see? So that's when I slip into the carriage and get myself hidden under the seat. Nice and easy, right? But your hiding place is a storage compartment. Full of equipment for the coach, no? Not saying anything. Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there. Sure. Hey, I always chuck all that out and cram it into a corner somewhere. Now starting into my Irish voice. No one ever seems to bother much. And yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who first arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia. I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all that stuff out so I could hide under the seat. That's all I can tell you. It seems we've reached the end of that line of inquiry. Continue. But it's a right old waste of time. You've got nothing to show for it. A waste of time? Why is that? Well, most nights I'm on my own and the God permit at least some of the time. I beg your pardon, did you say God permit? Oh yeah, that's what my kind call it. You'd say the omnibus, I suppose. The point is, in your normal run, the carriage ain't got no one in it for a while. And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away. That's it, only that night. This cove was set on me safe from the start. And he didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not 1 inch. God, I hate this voice, but too bad, we're sticking with it. I was totally stuck. Do you mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? You were under seat the entire time while events unfolded in the enclosed cabin? Yeah. Right, mister? To be sure. It was as short as anyone. You don't expect to lift the cushion you've been sat on and find a child now, do you? So this Miss Lestrade couldn't possibly be the culprit then. I tell you can't see anything in the hiding place to pitch in there. As in, like, pitch black. So you couldn't see out into the cabin at all? Not a jot. Most days I push the cushion up with me head and look out the crack. Then I can have a butcher's at who I'm gonna fiddle. I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher. I mean, I can have a look. The seat I get under ain't as plush as the other one, see? So most of the time, the passengers plant themselves opposite. But for some reason that night, this Irishman sent the whole journey right over me head. For that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out. I see. Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like being thrown in the clink. But it's the only place to hide in them carriages. So it's Upson's choice. Doesn't she just pick... Yeah. Doesn't she just stick to picking people's pockets in the open then? I'd say there's some reason that she's not letting on, judging from her demeanor. So anyways, I was a bit scared. But I had to just stick it out under there. Nothing else for it. Okay, you hear this loud bang. The dumb is scared. And the scream just came out of you. When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor? Could have been. I suppose I don't remember so well. Point is, it made me jump. And you let out a scream involuntarily? That's right. And then I felt the cushion over me head get lighter all of a sudden. Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim, yes. Or not. It could equally have been the moment the accused stood up in order to stab his victim. Could it not? Well, girl, did you see what happened at that crucial moment? Yeah, I saw it. Saw what? I pushed up the cushion and I had quick butchers where I had the chance, didn't I? The Irishman was sitting up the bloke, what to fall on the seat, what to fall on the floor on the seat opposite. That matches Mr. McGilda's account, of course. But then, the fella suddenly turns around and looks right at me. I swung back down again, but it was too late by then. I should have never have risked looking. Okay, and that's how he found her, and he helped to get away. And when Mr. McGilda discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place? How scared stiff I was. He dragged me out and sat me down the seat and all. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason? Yeah, the bloke had a knife in his guts. He was still bleeding. Then the carriage lurched a bit, and he ended up falling onto me. Ugh, how awful. Both me hands got covered in blood. It made me feel sick as a dog. Both her hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passengers saw, it would seem. And they did say they saw bare hands, so she's not wearing gloves. There you go. After that, I believe you talked with Mr. McGilda for a while. Is that correct? He asked me some stuff. Wanted to know my name and what I was up to and that. Then I heard something from above. Someone screamed. Yes, Mr. Fur, from the roof deck, one would presume. I didn't want no one seeing my face, so I didn't look up. Then the artists were driving smartish, and this Irishman says to me, "Get back under the seat and see that you can get away later." All 6 members of the jury had decided the defendant was innocent. For one brief shining moment, yes. It's clear they're all still very unsure. We just find some conclusive piece of evidence. I'm gonna see testimony. I'm sure we can clinch the verdict we want. Yes, I think you're right. I have this niggling feeling. Something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. Man, I don't know. I want to look at my evidence. Let's go through this again. So I guess I had the carriage. That's got nothing to do with anything. That doesn't matter. Can't see anything. That sounds about right. I don't know. Can I press this again? Yeah. I wonder... I'm waiting... I want to see if I can get like a reaction out of Magnus McGilded.
Well, no.
Oh, hello now. Wait, this didn't happen before. Hey,
Excuse me.
Hey, can we ask you something? Is something wrong, Mr. McGilded? No, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, counsel? I'm just wondering if Mr. Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Hold on. Oh, no. Just nothing important. I was feeling bad for the poor lass is all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad, shut up in the dark. 'Twas terrifying, so 'twas. I see, yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm so scared of the dark now. Hi, and I don't know about yourself, but I find the darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well. Yeah, I suppose it does. Maybe. Miss Lestrade, did you hear something that night? Anything, an unusual noise perhaps? Nah, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. But jabbers, there's only a total road of me foibles, you little scamp. What a pity. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue. Yes. What should we make of that last statement of hers? I might as well say this. My lord, I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important. Profoundly important? But all she said was that she heard nothing. Yes, which is the profoundly important part. I'm almost sure of it. I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern Mind Council. Nevertheless, Monsieur Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating that last statement, please. What? Supplement? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do, but it won't work on me. That's right, insult the judge. Always a good move. I was straining my ears to work out what was going on, but all I could hear was snoring. Might as well press this. So, you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time? Since the moment you hid yourself? Not exactly, no. Sorry? Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the cushion up and have a butt just to see what was what. But then, when I saw the skeleton on, I got my head down so he didn't notice me. Mr. McGilda sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct? Yeah, what you haven't even what a mug. So then all I could do was listen. I was frightened to jump out of there as soon as I heard him leave, see? But would he? No likely. Even though we were stopped here and there, I never heard the door open. So I just had to stay put and listen to him driving his pits to market, snoring like an old dog he was. Are there any conclusions we can draw from that, I wonder? I'm going with this. Miss Lestrade, what you have just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts. At odds? Are you sure, man? Absolutely. It seems my learned Nipponi's friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. So Van Zeeks realized it too. Realized what? I don't know. Please, game, please help me. Because I don't know what's going on here either. Counsel? I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence, or some complicit party's name at the very least. I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court. According to Miss Lestrade, whilst she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGilda's snoring. But think, Ryunosuke, think. There's something else she should have heard. Oh, pfft. I didn't mean... Damn it! But thinking about it, she really should have heard... on a particular sound that Mr. Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. I'm gonna say, I feel like she really should have heard him get on. Mr. Mason. It would seem phantoms are at work again. This time in my Nipponi's friend's ears. Yeah, you know, I didn't mean to pick this option anyway. I gotta stop mashing the A button. I concur. No sound is apparent to me at all. Oh. Let me introduce you to a sound that will be very real indeed, however. The sound of your death throes. Well, there goes a point. He's right. That was loud. Alright, let's... Come on. Yeah, let's show a person. This is what I wanted to pick. Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate on a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. The sound very clearly explained by the presence of this person. Yeah, she should have heard him get on.
Take that!
Thrice-fired mason. Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade cannot have failed to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus. Yeah. I mean, frankly, whether he got on the roof seats or inside it, she should have heard him. Order! Order! Explain your reasoning, counsel. Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on board the omnibus. Is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got down while the driver was in the pulp, didn't I? And the next person aboard the omnibus was Mr. McGilden. That it was, but the soul was in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least, not in plain sight. So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time? Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I saw him get down, remember? Through the crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own, for sure. And from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey. During which time, did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? Nah, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, weren't it? Waiting for this road to leave. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Yeah. What's going on here? Yes, this petty thief statement was clearly flawed. Lord Van Zieks. Yes, he knew. He knew all too well there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement. It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more. Oh, crap. This doesn't help us? Sorry, I'm not looking at the statements. I'm just speculating. Uh-oh. She's ready. Granny's casting him guilty. She didn't even say anything. I didn't want to judge the dear little mite just because she has some rather naughty ways. But I must say, I can't abide liars. Neither can I. Mr. Foreman, I didn't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than salubrious, I guess? But I must say, I cannot abide liars. That's me cracking my neck. Must now heard of that's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty. Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponi's friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me. Well, you're welcome. Yes, very refreshing. Okay, we are in trouble. What's you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for? Yeah, useless Eastern... Amadon? Amadon? I don't know. I don't know. This is carnage. It's perfect. Oh yeah, you do seem like the type. Juror number 2 is still the only one left. Mr. Naruhodo, the way this is going, I know if we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGillicud's innocence, the judge will rule and we'll have lost. Oh. I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen. But those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Hold it!
Oh, please tell me. Yes, the witness's last statement seems to reveal a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case. What are you saying? Counsel? I'm sorry, sir? Whatever do you mean? Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my adjudication. I guess that's like old slang for like prolong. So clearly we're having to bluff here. Explain yourself at once. When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand, and that the victim's body was found inside the carriage. If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? I can think of a way, and I don't know if it's legit, but we're gonna try it. There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. I mean, that's a very vague way of saying it, but yeah, he was put there after he died. Obviously, the victim must have been placed in the carriage after he was killed.
Objection!
Tell me, my learned friend, what was the function of that obviously in your last sentence? Well said, Lord Van Zeeks. The obviously is troubling me also. No, that's really not the point. The point is that the victim must have been moved into the carriage afterwards. Then answer me this. How could a cadaver have been placed inside a moving carriage? Well, obviously... no. Okay, so that was not the right answer. I must learn to ramble more relevantly. The penalty is evidently not heavy enough, judging from these Nipponi's eyes. So I ask you again. Yeah. Okay. I seriously thought that was the right answer. How about another entrance? If the door wasn't open even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way.
Objection!
I wondered what new fantasy you would have come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door, the other only has windows. Fixed windows, which cannot possibly open. In short, there's no entrance to the cabin other than the door.
Objection!
But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered. Oh, really? Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. Alright, counsel. The defense will identify the location for the court. Oh, game merchant there? Alright. I'm gonna say it's the skylight. Oh, music stops, that's it. The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight. I say, the skylight?
Objection!
Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words. However,
Objection!
the skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through.
Objection!
So you claim. But do you have a shred of evidence to support your addle-brained theory? Both Mr. McGilda and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained, as the sound of the victim falling from his seat, having been assaulted with a dagger. Yes, it has. But would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise that the witnesses describe? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact. Good gracious! Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it.
Objection!
You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin? That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure? Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. And yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimony. Well, yes, that's true, but... Oh? Meant a humble fella make a wee comment here. Mr. McGilden? To be sure now, the two fellas who were sat on the roof that testified before said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that is not so much a case of them not saying, but... Aye. 'Tis a case of them being unable to say. What? I think perhaps the two fellas. Do you be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened? Or choose not to agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Oh my goodness, surely not. Oh, he's like... He might be saying they did it then. Those two chaps on the roof? You mean the ones who stuck that knife in the man were... Yeah, he's just basically straight up accusing them of doing it. Oh, well, here they come. Just what exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer? You rotter, he said. You rotter, what are you insinuating? Okay, calm down, dude. Dang, how are you holding that posture? This is a flaming outrage. I've a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute. He'll give you a shiner in a minute, he said, and so will I. Mr. Fairplay, you're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman, and a well-respected banker. Who cares? And me, a very angry hatter. Suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts, it's a disgrace. It's scandalous. It's, I protest. I protest in the strongest possible terms. That's right, I protest too. How about you rotten scoundrel? Order, order, order! This is not the time, witnesses. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once. But this is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous. It's very hurtful, you know. My lord, if I may comment. Go ahead, Lord Van Zeeks. It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof. Accuse? I never intended to... It seems, young Nipponese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. You propose to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimated their criminal guilt. In our British courts of law, that is what is termed a baseless accusation. I know it was rash to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought. What are we wasting time for? Testify! I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on the fellow. Oh, yeah? I say there's something fishy about your hat. Let's see this matter through now, one way or another. This filthy rubbish not missed, we must dispose of it at once. Oh, they all chanting for you to get your words up. I don't know what that means. What's happening, Mr. Naruhodo? The spectators in the public gallery they're in a complete frenzy. Mr. Fairplay, Mr. First? Lord? You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony. In reference to the indictment brought by the defense. Yes, my lord. I didn't come here for this. There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward. Yeah. Alright. We were the only two people on that roof deck, dead or alive, I can swear to that. If anything had happened where we were sitting, don't you think one of the other of us would have noticed? In any case, neither of us knew the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it. If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where is your proof? Well, as far as that last statement goes, I think I do have proof, but I want to press everything first. I must say that on listening to his testimony, it's somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck, without the other noticing forthwith. That's right, you see? We're innocent, I tell you. Although logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you were in collusion with one another. What? According to investigations by Scotland Yard. The two witnesses show no common dealings. I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich. Well, I repeat myself from an early episode. A lot of people share that sentiment these days. Something doesn't feel right here. The trial is going in our favor, really. So why do I feel so uneasy? Counsel for the defense, over to you. No cross-examination, please. Oh, yes, my lord. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I do get a bit of a whiff of something sus, but we'll see.